Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and trends shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter, and I'm excited to have you join us for another episode. Today, we're taking a closer look at the complex and ever-changing landscape of global economics. From trade tensions to market fluctuations, it's been a wild ride for investors and consumers alike. At the center of it all is the United States, where President Trump's policies have been making headlines and moving markets. Just recently, President Trump announced plans to impose new tariffs on European goods, only to later extend the deadline for these tariffs after a phone call with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. This whiplash-inducing approach to trade policy has left many wondering what's next for the global economy. Meanwhile, concerns about the U.S. deficit have been growing, particularly in light of proposed tax cuts that could add trillions of dollars to the national debt. Some experts warn that this could have serious consequences for the economy, including higher interest rates and reduced government spending power. But despite these challenges, markets seem to be taking a wait-and-see approach. The Australian share market is set to rise, with futures pointing to a gain of 19 points, or 0.2% at the open. And in Europe, stocks are also up, with some individual companies like ThyssenKrupp AG and Volvo Car AB making significant gains. As we navigate this complex economic landscape, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and avoid getting caught up in partisan rhetoric. At Concrete Block, we're committed to bringing you balanced and unbiased reporting, so you can stay informed and make your own decisions about the issues that matter most. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and exploring their implications in more depth throughout the episode. From the potential impact on trade relationships to the effects on individual investors, we'll leave no stone unturned. So, whether you're a seasoned economist or just starting to explore the world of finance, we invite you to join us on this journey into the heart of the global economy. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're taking a deep dive into the complexities of international relations today, and I'm excited to share this thought-provoking story with you. We've been following the recent tensions between India and Pakistan, and it's clear that the situation is multifaceted. The conflict has sparked a flurry of media coverage, with both sides presenting their own narratives about the events unfolding in the region. At the heart of this issue is the concept of identity construction. Both India and Pakistan have been using media to shape public perception and create a sense of national identity. This has led to a fascinating yet concerning phenomenon where each side presents itself as the defender while portraying the other as the aggressor. The Indian media has framed Pakistan as a terror factory, emphasizing the country's alleged support for militant groups. In contrast, Pakistani media has depicted India as a fascist state led by a majoritarian regime, obsessed with humiliation and eager to erase Muslims from history. This dichotomy is troubling because it reduces complex issues to simplistic, binary narratives. The selective mourning of victims on both sides is also a moral indictment, highlighting the need for a more nuanced understanding of the conflict. The international community has been watching this situation closely, with some countries attempting to broker a ceasefire. While the guns may have fallen silent for now, the story each side tells about itself will continue to shape public opinion and inform future actions. It's essential to recognize that these narratives are not set in stone and can be deconstructed. By listening to diverse perspectives and engaging in open dialogue, we can work towards a more balanced understanding of the conflict. As we move forward, it's crucial to acknowledge the humanity affected by this conflict. Civilians on both sides have lost their lives, and their stories deserve to be told and heard. In conclusion, the India-Pakistan conflict serves as a reminder that in today's world, the most potent weapons are not nuclear, but rather the narratives we construct and the stories we tell about ourselves and others. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're wrapping up today's show with a look at the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The situation has taken a dramatic turn, with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz announcing that there are no longer any range restrictions on arms supplied by key Western allies to Ukraine. This means that Ukraine will be able to attack military positions in Russia, which could potentially escalate the conflict. The Kremlin has responded to this development by saying that any Western decision to lift range limits on arms delivered to Ukraine would be dangerous and at odds with peace efforts. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been accused of having gone absolutely crazy by U.S. President Donald Trump, who expressed his concerns about the situation on social media. Despite the tensions, diplomatic efforts to end the war are ongoing. Russian and Ukrainian officials held direct talks in Istanbul earlier this month, and a major prisoner exchange took place over the weekend. However, Moscow has rejected proposals for a 30-day ceasefire, and instead is working on a memorandum outlining its peace terms. The conflict has had devastating consequences for civilians, with tens of thousands of people killed and many more displaced. The international community is calling for a peaceful resolution to the crisis, but it remains to be seen how the situation will unfold. As we close out today's show, we want to remind our listeners that the situation in Ukraine is complex and multifaceted. We strive to provide balanced and unbiased coverage of the conflict, and we encourage our listeners to stay informed through reputable sources. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.